a special habit that made Michael Phelps a legendary swimmer. Phelps has been like an energizer since he was a kid, and his abundant energy exhausted his parents. So to use his energy elsewhere, he began swimming at the age of 7. Having seen Phelps' unusually long upper body, big hands and relatively short legs, a swimming coach, Bob Bauman, sensed that Phelps would become the future world champion. But Phelps was very emotional. He could hardly calm himself before the game. In a sport that every millisecond matters, he had to have strong mentality before winning a gold medal. Bauman struggled and wondered what young Phelps could do in the current difficult situation. From some time ago, Bauman told Phelps at the end of his training, "Be sure to watch the video before you fall asleep. Be sure to watch the video as soon as you wake up." The video? This videotape doesn't exist. It means the perfect race of every single day that he can picture in his head. That is to say, simulation. Following Bauman's advice, Phelps imagined himself diving from the starting block and swimming perfectly in slow motion every night before going to sleep, and the moment he woke up. He drew a picture of every moment, of every hand gesture, water drips from his lips, and his own image of turning from the end of the pool and even taking off his swimming cap. Then he reached the point where he could accurately measure the time of swimming events by seconds. The videotape has been upgraded. Other habits such as dieting, training schedule, stretching, and sleep time developed naturally, reducing the record time. It was 3 minutes before the Beijing Olympics on August 13, 2008. Phelps set out on a starting block and got ready to dive. When the starter signal went off, Phelps made a strong leap forward. But as soon as he dove in, he sensed that something was wrong. His goggles slowly started filling with water. Phelps began to swim across the water and hope for the better. But when he made the second turn, his eyes were blurred. When he made his third turn, the goggles were full of water. He couldn't see anything. He couldn't see the lines drawn on the floor of the pool, nor the T on the touch panel. In fact, if this is the case with the Olympic finals, most of the national team players lose their mentality and panic. It was then Phelps's videotape began to play. It was definitely a crisis, but the videotape showed that everything was going according to plan, except the goggles. Bauman trained Phelps during the dark night in preparation for an unexpected accident. Phelps's video footage in his mind showed the entire scene. Phelps held on to a powerful stroke. He estimated how many strokes were left before hitting the final touch panel, with only the last 50 meters left. He needed about 21 more strokes. His speciality, the burst of speed, began. In his 18th stroke, the crowd roared, but still nothing was to be seen. He couldn't tell who the audience was rooting for. 19, 20, one more stroke, said the videotape in his head. Phelps stretched out his arms with all his might for the 21st stroke. He felt the touch panel at his fingertips. His calculations were absolutely correct. Phelps quickly took off his swimming goggles and looked at the sign. Next to his name, the word world record was flashing. It was the moment when he wore a gold medal. After the game, an interviewer asked for his thoughts. Phelps said with a smile, "I felt like I was really blind." "Bauman, what kind of training did you give Phelps?" "It's not big. We tried to concentrate on the little victory. We knew that one small victory would lead to another little victory. Until we found a way that would work on Phelps, our team would experiment and try out on a variety of things. Meanwhile, we found the habit of the videotape that will bring little success, and we built it mechanically and repeatedly so that Phelps can form the habit. When Phelps arrives on the field, he has already swum more than half according to his plans. Everything goes automatically as planned in his head. He does the same with a light warm-up. On the day of Beijing Olympics swimming, August 13, 2008, it was already evidence that Phelps would triumph. The gold medal was a natural extension of core habits.